You're listening to the Yin and Yang Show, a marketing and sales conversation providing strategic and tactical advice about inbound sales and marketing. And now, here are your hosts, Lindsay Kelly and Brian Signorelli.
Hey, welcome back to the Yin and Yang Show. Thank you guys again for joining us every Friday. It's my favorite part of the day. I'm Lindsay, and I'm with Prospect Builder, and I have the distinct pleasure this week of having a guest with me because my partner Sig is away celebrating his Lady Fair's birthday. So I have with me Rachel Plummer. Hi, Rachel.
Hi.
How are you?
I am well. Thanks for having me.
We're so excited you're here. Rachel is another HubSpotter. She is my channel account manager. So she's the one that guides us through the sales process. She gets to work a lot with our VP of sales, John Pulley. And today she has decided to join us in Sig's place. So Rachel, tell us just a little bit about you.
Yeah. So longtime HubSpotter. I'm a dinosaur over here. Just hit my 5-year anniversary.
Congrats.
Exciting. Thank you. And yeah, Lindsay's right. I'm a channel account manager here at HubSpot. So I work with a bunch of marketing agencies and basically help them with their sales process and kind of figure out what's the best way to scale and hire and things like that. So it's a lot of fun working with a bunch of agencies, and I love working with Lindsay and her team too.
Oh, we love you. We love you. I've had Rachel since before my last agency that I had. So Rachel and I have been together for a very long time. And I even fought to keep her so she could stay my channel account manager when they wanted me to move to someone else. And I said no. So today, Rachel, we are going to talk about something that Sig and I had started discussing last week when we had Aaron Carpenter, another HubSpot partner, on the broadcast with us here. And we were talking a little bit about sales emails. And so today we're going to be covering kind of the anatomy of what a good sales email might look like. We're going to cover some examples of what looks good, and we're going to cover some examples of some really bad ones. And we didn't use any industry specific ones because I was very uncomfortable doing that because some of them are okay. And others are just downright completely ineffective, and I didn't want to call anybody out. So, within our industry, not any of our clients, but of course, none of our clients. But Rachel, we found a couple really good ones, and I wanted to kind of start out with reminding everybody that HubSpot has a tool called Sequences, and the high-level overview of it is. Oh, I'll let you do the high-level overview because you'll probably explain it much better than I will.
Sure. Yeah. I love Sequences. It sounds cliche, but it's my favorite tool that HubSpot has ever created. So it's the idea of almost like marketing automation for sales. So when we go in to start prospecting someone, statistics show you need to hit that prospect with an email and a call about 5 times in order to have them answer you. That's a lot of work and a lot of time, especially if you're doing it the right way, which we'll talk about. But Sequences basically gives you the ability when you go in to start prospecting that person to basically develop all of your emails up front or pull from templates that you've already created, enroll someone in a sequence, and they'll start getting dripped that content over time without you having to individually send every single email. It's pretty amazing for people like me. It saves a ton of time. And it just allows you to get really personalized without kind of going in every couple of days and reminding yourself who this person is.
Oh, that's really neat. Yeah, it's a fun tool. We have some clients doing some experiments with it now. And it's interesting because now sales managers have the ability to go in and look at the reps that we're testing this with and say, okay, what are the activities of the day? Like, what's the call? What was the result of the call? Did they respond to the sequence? And it sets reminders and tasks as well. So, when you have your sequence set up, it'll literally say, okay, trigger this email first. And, you have a chance to go in and do your own personalization. So if you know that they have 2 kids and summer's coming, you can say something fun because it's May and summer's coming. Say something about, hey, ready for, summer camps and, pool days and all this other good stuff. And then have a task reminder to set up 2 days later, give them a call if they haven't responded. And I love that part because it helps keep sales reps very organized without having to go in and use manual processes. Yeah. So that alone is just worth the price of admission for the sales tool. And you don't have to have the marketing tool to have the sales tool, right?
Exactly. It's a standalone tool if you want it to be.
Yep, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So I wanted to, do you want to start with the good emails or the bad emails?
Let's start with the bad ones.
Okay, let's start. I sent a couple over, and my favorite one, I was like, awesome. I'm like, misspellings, grammatical errors, and smiley face emojis.
Here, let me zoom in on these so you can't see who these people are.
I was going to say, I found some of them in my spam folder, so it I was like, I don't know them. I don't know if you know them. I sent some good ones, though, too. I get some from, like, HubSpot partners that I've downloaded other materials from, and, like, the salespeople are following up with me because I've lied about who I am. They think I'm a real business. So, and that does happen. We have clients all the time that are like, how can we get that to stop happening? I'm like, that's a humanity problem, not an automation problem. That's the individual. They don't want to be called.
Oh, I love it. I love it. All right. Here, let me share these with you guys.
So for those of you listening in, Rachel will give a little bit more of the play-by-play, but she's going to share some of the emails that we found.
Perfect. Can you see this, Lindsay?
Yep, I sure can. And I'm even going to double click it and make it a little bigger for those who can see us on the video. Go for it.
Awesome. All right. So I feel like we all get these, right? It's funny, Lindsay and I were talking yesterday and I was like, I don't even know if I have any in my inbox because I immediately delete them all because you know right away exactly what you're getting. So this one, hey, Lindsay, I'm trying to find the person at Prospect Builder who's responsible for managing our cash flow and growth strategy. I was hoping this might be you or someone with whom you work closely. If it makes sense to talk, how does your calendar look for a quick intro call? So it's like, I don't know if you're the right person, but like, let's set up some time to talk immediately right out of the gate. And then just a whole dialogue about this person's company.
Yeah, and there's one link.
Yep.
I didn't click on it because I knew it was just going to take me to the website. But what are the elements that are missing? Let's run down that list really quick because our folks don't think about that often, in our industry, having some kind of relevant action for somebody to take in an email.
Yeah, so we follow a loose structure here at HubSpot whenever we have new employees. And even when I'm working with my partners, this is kind of how I guide them through it. It's roughly based off of the Basho series of emailing, which basically means more you than I, right? So like, I want to find a way to highlight a pain point you might have, offer maybe like a tip or something helpful, and then maybe say one brief thing about me, like maybe how I talk to people in this industry. So for example, if I was emailing someone in like the manufacturing space, let's say, I might say, hi, so-and-so, and we'll show you like an example of an actually good email, but like, I speak to a lot of people in your space. They tell me they have a hard time generating leads from their website. I took a look at your website. Here's a tip. When works to connect to chat about this further. So it's basically like more you than I, some sort of pain point, and as helpful as possible. Most people won't open the email anyway. I think they say your sales emails 1 out of every 4 are opened, which is why we try to hit people that 5 number, so 5 times. But when they do, let's make sure it's helpful and not all about me. Because when I'm reading this email, I'm like, I don't care, right? Like you haven't solved anything for me. You're just talking about yourself. And you did very little research to say, are you the right person? Well, of course I'm the right person. I'm the co-founder. Like, like there's only me and one other person up here making most of the decisions that would have to do with this. So this person spent no time getting to know who I was electronically. And that's my favorite part about sequences is that you have the ability as a sales rep this is a one-to-one. This is not a marketing email blast that we're talking about, guys. We're talking about sales reps who are doing cold emails and making it something that is going to resonate and speak to the person that you're targeting. So you need to make it
one-to-one marketing. I mean, one-to-one sales. One-to-one marketing. It's one-to-one marketing as well. Because you're marketing yourself as a rep. You're marketing your company. But there's nothing in here about me. No. This is a canned email that makes me say, delete. Luckily, this went to spam, so I hadn't deleted it. So I could find this glorious gem that we could share today.
Yep, exactly. And I read something yesterday too that said, this was news to me, but I guess 70% of people now are, when they're making buying decisions, are doing it based off of a problem or a pain point that they're trying to solve. I think that's up from past years. And so the point is like exactly what Lindsay said. There's nothing in here telling me about my pain point and how they're going to help me.
Right. It keeps telling me that they understand challenges in financial, but they're not explaining really how, and they're not making it relevant to me.
Yep.
I want it to be relevant to me. And so do your folks. Your prospects want this to be relevant to them.
Yep.
So that was a good one. Okay.
Yeah. I like
Let's do another one
too, because I don't want to show you the name, but basically like the way this is written, it's super clear that this is automated, right?
Yeah.
And not at all personalized. In fact, I'm putting together all the details of this webinar this person wants to run, I think. So here's some highlights I plan to touch on. How does that sound so far? It's all about them. I kind of wish I could show you guys the top of it, but I won't do that.
That's okay. No, that's okay. But yeah, it's, using I from what you've taught us is a surefire way to turn somebody off pretty quick, because I don't care about you. I care about me.
It's all about me and how I'm going to help you. And I think it just goes back to the fundamentals of inbound selling, right? Like we all know now, buyer behavior's changed. We are seeking out the people that we think are going to help solve our problems. So if this is all about you, I'm not going to reply. I probably won't even read it.
Right. So, when we're thinking about good emails, do you have kind of a rule of thumb for what a good email looks like and what people should keep in mind? Because you help us do this all the time.
Yep. Yeah. So I kind of have a checklist, and then I can walk through a couple examples. So my checklist is, like I said before, and you guys are probably like, shut up, but be helpful, highlight a pain point, and basically give yourself positioning statements to use, right? So like I said before, I talk to a lot of people in your space. They tell me this. So you're saying basically like, I understand. Keep it short too. Like, how many emails have you gotten that are pages long and you're just like, you expect me to read this? I don't even know who you are.
Right.
So that's another one. Like I said before, use to every I you use. So 2 times more about them than me. That's pretty much it. Other than at HubSpot, I really harp on adding a tip. So like a lot of blogs you'll read about best practices for sales emails, it will say like pain point, positioning statement, and then keep it short and whatever those tips. But I also think it's good to add in some sort of like, for us, we're a marketing automation company, so we can help with your website and your marketing and generating leads and traffic. So I will say like, I took a look at your website and this is what I found. Other companies might have other examples, but that's kind of the way I try to add value too, is like I actually went in and spent 5 to 10 minutes looking through your site. You know that I'm taking this seriously.
Right. And it can be very similar to relate it back to the office technology industry. If you're researching a prospect because you're going in and, you're trying to sell managed IT services or copiers or whatever it might be, go to their about page, find out things that are relevant to them, look at some of the folks on their company page, the team. Do they have a lot of accounts payable people? What do their processes potentially look like? What are some of the pain points of that? If it's a manufacturing industry, other manufacturers have this pain of, making documents flow through their accounts payable department from the deliveries to here? Is that a pain that you have experienced? Something that is relevant to them, and talking about it from, their, like if I open it and I see immediately like, oh, they're talking about the manufacturing industry that I'm in, and I'm also responsible for accounting. So my people have this issue all the time. So maybe I might click on something if you give me something helpful.
Yep.
A blog, an ebook, whatever.
Yeah. And I think if you can, like, maybe it's tougher for certain industries to find that like tip to actually give someone. So maybe you find a, blog article that they wrote, or maybe they posted something on LinkedIn that was thoughtful, and you want to say like, hey, I saw this and it, piqued my interest. I also then took a look at your site, blah, 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 blah. But basically like giving you that in like, hey, I actually know who you are. I know what you do. And now I have some things to share with you.
Right. And the beauty of setting up good, solid, helpful templates within your HubSpot sequence on the HubSpot sales tool is you can then go into Outlook, and there's a plugin where literally you start a new email and you can hit the sequences button and select the sequence that's most appropriate for that, and then customize it to that person. You can change so much within that structure to make it relevant to that person. But then you've already got the foundation there, so you're not starting from scratch every time. Maybe you only have to change about 20% of it. That's 80% time saved right there.
Yep.
So
exactly.
So that's something that's always top of mind for sales reps. They want to be out and they want a time, which is selling time. They don't want the research and the prospecting. That's not fun for them. They want to go out and get deals signed. So this helps them get there faster.
I bet if you asked 10 sales reps, most of them would say that they don't even have an email that they write daily saved as a template. They just write it over and over. So like, although we all want to save time, we have horrible habits. So having something like sequences that it's already pre-built, I use this every single day, so much easier.
Yep. And that's a great point, because we have, when we're going through our processes with new clients, setup is intensive for HubSpot for a new client. There's so many things that you need from them in order to get their portal set up. We have in Google Drive, and this is, I'm raising my hand and saying, I'm doing it wrong. We have in Google Drive probably 12 different templates for emails that we use and customize for each client. They're pretty much like, hey, here's what IT needs to do. Hey, we need this, can you please fill this out because we need your logo and this and that, and send it to us this way. If we set it up as a template inside of HubSpot and then we could track it, then we're not going back later and going, oh, let me dig through my email and I can't remember the PMS color for their logo. Whereas if it's in the sales tool, it's right there. It's in their contact record, and it's got this wonderful timeline that shows you every interaction. I literally I'm this close to my sales CRM certification. I submitted it.
Nice.
And I've done everything that I'm supposed to, but it was so nice to be able to go in and say, okay, look, here's a phone call, because I don't make the calls. But when Pulley does, I'm on the call. So hopefully they'll hear that, because I don't have the sales license, but you have to give them an example of, you making a sales call. But you track your calls inside of it. And I'm looking at this going, if Pulley got hit by a truck tomorrow, I could just pick right up where he left off. Like, God, please don't hit him with a truck. However, it would be so easy for me to go, I know exactly where every single prospect that he's working with is in this sales process. Everything is tracked. Everything is there. It is beautiful. It is beautiful. I can get into anything I need. And he has the full license and I don't, but he's able to record all of this. So it's really, it's quite a time saver. And he's able to go back now, and so is my Daryl takes care of all of the sales training. I don't do that, but he's able to go back as the quote unquote sales manager and look at the activities inside of that. And he looks at the email templates, and it's funny because it's not something that we as in industry are used to with, being helpful, finding the pain point, providing a solution. It's just not something that a lot of people think about when they're creating these emails. And so when, now, Daryl's learning along with Pulley because he's learning from Pulley, who's learning from you. So it's full circle.
Yes, it is. It is.
So,
you want me to walk through some examples of some good emails?
Yes, please. Let's do a good one.
All right. Here, let me pull one up. So
we have time for one or two.
All right. So I'll just read these to you guys. Let's see here. All right. So the other thing we didn't really talk about is kind of keeping your language at a third grade reading level, I think is what they say. That's the best. Usually those emails have the best response rate. You don't want to use industry buzzwords. You just want to keep it as casual and, easy as you can. So this one, hi, Justin. I recently sent, actually, let me read you guys this one. So Fred, you recently checked out some resources on the HubSpot website. And as a follow-up, I took a look at your website. Positioning statement. I speak to a lot of companies in the manufacturing industry who tell me that their website is more of a brochure than a way to generate leads for their sales team. One thing that stuck out to me on your site is your page titles don't have a good keyword for what you offer. So tip. And then just kind of an explanation. This is the first place Google looks when deciding where to place you in search engine results. Every page of your website is an opportunity to get found for people searching for your services. I can point out some other low-hanging fruit opportunities for you for your lead generation as well. Would that be interesting to you when Works to Connect this week? So it's like, this is what you did that piqued my interest and made me look at your website. Here's a positioning statement. Here's a tip. This is why this tip is important. Let's talk. I'm going to ask you a question. So like, when Works to Connect, or is this important to you? And that's it. Like under 150 words, solving all of our problems, super simple and casual.
Yep. That's awesome.
I think
it's the little things we don't stop and think about, that's so simple and so helpful.
Yeah. Like I feel like back when I was prospecting regularly like this, I was trying to send these helpful emails and, you get to email number 5 and you're like, was this even helpful? No one's responded. And then they reply to you because you've hit them so many times and they say, so sorry, like this has been so helpful. Like the timing's just not right. Or yes, let's set up some time to talk. But I don't think I've ever gotten a response that was like, leave me alone. This isn't helpful. Like usually people are like, thanks for sending that. That's a good point. I'll check that out.
Yep. And do you find that people are more likely to answer a cold call because now they've received something that, because you can see whether or not this person has opened or clicked or done anything with this email. Do you find that if somebody picks up the phone after that and makes a call that they're more likely to get somebody on the phone or that somebody remembers them?
Good question. So the magic recipe, we say, is to leave the voicemail first and then send the email. The voicemail should mirror what the email is going to say. So like, hey, so-and-so, I was on your site. This is what I found. Like shorter. Give me a call back. I'm going to send you an email now explaining this.
Okay.
And usually the response is via email, but it's because you're calling and emailing them.
Okay.
I don't know the exact number. I can look it up after this, but the rate of reply is so much higher when you leave a voicemail and send an email.
Okay. So do you specifically call in then and ask to be put into their voicemail instead of trying to connect with them, or you just find that most of the time they just don't answer?
No, good clarification. They don't answer. People are really busy and they don't know you, so they're not going to answer. Sometimes they do, though, and if so, you get a connect call out of it and you run with it. But most of the time, they're not going to answer, so we just say voicemail, email, voicemail, email.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm learning, too. This is, it's outside my realm of daily activities. So
yes, it is.
Cool.
You can talk to Pulley about this now.
I know, right? But hey, Pulley, guess what I learned today? So you had another one too. We have time for the one more.
Yeah. Let me read the other one. All right. So this one, hi, Justin. This would be like your third email or something, right? I looked further at your blog today. You have some really great posts. This one is my favorite. And actually paste in like that blog post title or a link to it. I speak with a lot of companies in the manufacturing industry who tell me they have trouble generating leads from their website. Do you use your blog for lead generation right now, or do you intend to? If you do, here is a tip. At the bottom of every article, insert a call to action button and link to a corresponding landing page where a visitor can fill out a form to become a lead. That might be kind of confusing. This isn't part of the email, but paste in an example. So I said, here is an example. This way, when someone gets to the bottom of your blog post, you don't leave them hanging. This is your chance to pull them in. I have 3 other suggestions for you. When do you have a few minutes to chat further this week? So it's like, again, this is something that I really liked about your website because I did my research. Here's this blog post.
Right.
Here's my positioning statement. I speak with a lot of companies like yours. Here's my tip. And again, another example of it. And then a question, and when do you want to connect?
That's awesome. I love it. You just gave me a download that I can use on my website. I'm going to go in and create, Rachel Plummer's checklist for the best sales email ever. Coming soon to a CTA call to action near you.
If any of my partners watch this podcast, this is all I say to them all the time.
That's funny.
Helpful? Is there a positioning statement?
Right.
Value?
That's awesome though.
Seems to work, but I'm welcome to other suggestions.
Very cool. Those were super helpful. And I'm getting some echo, so I'm going to apologize to folks because I know this will pick up.
I'm not hearing it.
Oh, well, that's good. I am. So we're just about out of time. So I want to find out how people can find you on Twitter.
At Rachel Plummer. Super easy, but I have special spelling first name, Rachael, Plummer.
Yes, not like a plumber.
Yes, exactly.
Which I do all the time. So, well, very cool. Well, folks, thanks for joining us again. You can find me at LV Kelly on the Twitters. And do you know Sig's ending line? So after I say mine, you say, keep talking. So you ready? Okay, awesome. So, all right, folks, until next time, keep the conversation going.
Keep talking.
You've been listening to the Yin and Yang Show, a marketing and sales conversation with Lindsay Kelly and Brian Signorelli. Join us online at yinandyang.fm. That's www.yinandyang.fm.